to entertain them. But no, if I were, I don't do this.
No Zoom.
No Zoom.
Hybrid is the way to go.
Our meeting is to meet and interact, not to hold things. Right?
To us. Then be sure.
Am I on Zoom? Yeah, is there like a switch the camera thing?
I think that might be a spot. Yeah. All right. How's it going, guys? Good. Okay, welcome to ASEI SoCal's first meeting of 2023. I need to remind that. The invite said 2022. So I'm Sanjay Dalal, the president of SoCal ASEI. How many of you know about ASEI? Few hands. So we just want to give you a quick overview of what we are about. And then of course introduce our speaker today for the evening, Dr. Partha Datta, and really get into what you're here for. So ASEI, and actually, before we get going, I want to thank Subha, who is our host as well. It's his office here, so Subha, thank you. Thank you. Subha is also the past president of the ASEI, and during the heydays, this organization used to have, I want to say, a few hundred members at least, maybe more. And we had huge events at UCI, Cancer Fullerton, and I remember 500 plus attendees, if I'm not mistaken, easily. So Subha asked me last year, we need to revive ASEI here in SoCal, and some of the past board members, including Rishi Kanwai, right here, he's also past president of ASEI in SoCal. So Subha and ASEI and Suresh Ladwa and some of the others, they said we need to, reignite the SoCal's, brand as well as, engagement in the community, as Subha said earlier. And so, here we are, we launched it last year, and, we had a few good meetings, we are building on that. And I want to introduce our team here who's here. Ashish Patel, our Vice President. How are you, Ashish?
I'm good. Ashish Patel, current VP of ASEI SoCal for Boeing as a retrofit engineer. And I'm glad everyone can make it out here, kick off the new year. We have a whole bunch of other events lined up as well. So I'm glad everyone can make it out.
Actually, do you want to give a quick roundup of a couple of events from last year?
Sure. Yeah. So we had a couple of events. So we had the main kickoff event. A lot of our board members were at. So we got that energy built up. We went out there. Then we had another volunteer event that happened where we were helping give back and putting food packets together for elderly and senior people. Really a lot of networking, a lot of building more energy that came out of there. And we had a tour at one of our board members. Yep, Beyond Green. And so I was excited about it. I couldn't make it personally, but I really was looking forward to it. So I was excited about that. Yeah. And so we're just looking to build up. We had a bowling event, a few other activities. So we're trying to align a lot of the networking aspects as well as trying to input that STEM feel. So a lot of these talks that we're having in combination with like factory tours and things like that, we're getting there. So as we slowly ramp up, we're looking for all guys' support, and more importantly, the energy, as well as just being there and talking. And I think we'll make our way to having back to what the heyday was, right, Subha? So thank you.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that.
You got Vrunda Patel, our secretary. How are you doing?
Good. Hey everyone, I'm Vrunda Patel, the secretary for ASEI SoCal. Been on board since like December 2020 or so, and now I'm a sales engineer for Emerson Electric. So we have a lot of good things in store. I know Pooja will talk a little more about the event soon, but stay with us. This is the kickoff. So we're, like he said, starting strong and moving forward. We'll have monthly events every month from now. So thanks for coming out.
Our events chair, Pooja. Both Vrunda and Pooja went to UCI. Pooja, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Pooja, and I just joined ASEI, I think, last year, but I really wanted to make this a fun organization, so and events chair. That's it.
Absolutely. And our two new board members for 23 who are all get us some new members and new blood into ASEI. Venkatesh, as well as our life member as well. Venkatesh. Thank you.
Mike,
Let me check Balaji, what?
When I give board members will get up to us.
Oh. So next time I won't get.
Lifetime board member is like you. Yes, I have board member.
No, thank you, Sanjay. Happy to be part of the ACI. Became the life member. Sanjay called me and said, "You want to be part of the board?" I said, "Do you want me?" Then yeah. So I said, "Okay, so let me join and let's get together and start talking more of how I can contribute." And he said, "Bring more members." I said, "Sure, I'll do that." I started talking to people and get some people here, more from the engineering crowd, and a lot of my clients fall under the category of engineers, so maybe bring them here. They will probably learn more, network more, and get to know people more. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And guys, go ahead.
Yeah, in addition to what Venkat said, I'm also a new board member, trying to help to grow the group. And I've been to ASEI, I believe, in 2020, I believe, or 2021. It's been a year long.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning and trying to help to bring more young people who are into engineering who needs help.
Yep.
So trying to add some value.
Thank you. You're going to help us with the visit to JPL this year,
Right.
which we need to announce soon.
Oh, okay.
So quick about what is the ASCI, why we are relevant. A lot of facts in there, but in short, an organization has been founded almost 30 years plus. Yeah, 30 years. Or 40 years now. Maybe it's 40 now, right? So it started as a Society of Engineers of Indian origin, and our goal is to strengthen our Indo-American relationship here with institutions, professionals, executives, and really create that broad communication between US, India, as well as a lot of us are local, right? So we have different chapters all over the country. SoCal is one of 5 chapters. The founding chapter is in Michigan, and so it's a pretty legit organization, 40 years history. Overall, we probably have thousands of members, including life members. And part of it is we are now going to push for growth, this year and beyond. And the vision is that, so for us, it's a local network here in Southern California. The overall vision at the board, at the national level is a national network of professional Asian Indian, diaspora here. And really a great platform for networking, career advancement, community service, technology exchange, and to develop the next generation of scientists and engineers. And that's why I couldn't do anybody better than starting off over this 2020 with Dr. Datta, because he's a who's who. I'll give you his information a little bit, but we thought let's get everybody inspired. A lot of things in the mission. I'm not going to read all of them, but really networking is big. Career guidance is important, right? Mentoring to members and students. So we have 2 young members from UCI, younger members, sorry. And our thought is what else we could do with UCI, what else we could do if we collaborate with some of the departments at UCI. And we used to be very strong both at UCI and Cal State Fullerton, so we want to revise that student chapter, right? So we want to start more and help the students become better engineers, better scientists, and have a better career as they graduate. We want to start recognizing that. So we used to do scholarships, we want to restart that. We want to sponsor for scholarships. So I know any of you who are established business owners here, and some of you are, think about, would you love to be a sponsor and give a student a scholarship? It doesn't matter the money, it's about the recognition, to be able to get an award, from an organization like us has a lot of merit. When I was talking to one of the friends I know, and now he's the vice chancellor at UCI, Dr. Hal Stern. Both our sons used to be in the same basketball league. And so I just called him. I said, "Hey, ASEI," and he's like, "You know what, Sanjay? I remember ASEI." I'm like, "You do?" He's like, "Okay, you are the organizer that gives scholarships 10 plus years ago." And he pulled an article and sent it to me. So the importance of recognition for students is huge. And that student who got the award, I'm sure they're put it on their resume somewhere. And they're talking about that, to a future employer or the current employer, right? So the point is we need to restart some of that. And of course, importantly, participate in a lot of community projects, which we have been wanting to do this year even more. Even promote our Indo-American relationship. Just today I read the news. The US is now looking at India as the #1 partner for supply chain relationships. So they are literally thinking of India as the base, vis-a-vis, what they were doing earlier, into creating more relationships on the manufacturing front. And a big contingent from India was visiting, and they had a very big meeting, with US. And it's almost a done deal. I think it's like, so for the next 10 years, you may see the amount of development happening from India for US and vice versa explode, So these are some things that we can be in the midst of that. We can be, sharing and promoting that. And technology transfer, we talked about that already here at US. And then the national convention, which I love Dr. Shrikant might talk a little bit about that, the national convention. Maybe you can share what we do there. And I know we're going to have a big one this year, 48th year one.
Yeah, so there's a national convention that is being planned at this year, the national level.
So let me introduce Shrikant. He has been over. You can say.
Yeah, I guess I've been in ASEI since 2004.
Yeah.
So I've been involved in a variety of different capacities as the Southern California chapter president. Sanjay, Subha was there too. Then the national organization also was the chair or the president, what do they call it?
Chair.
For 3 years. And now I'm on the national board. I was advisor for several years. Going back to the question that you talked about in the national convention, we used to have national convention every year. And, we pick a specific topic and we invite people to give talks on related to those topics. So there always used to be a theme of the national convention. So for example, I conducted a national convention here in Cerritos in 2006, and the theme of that was improving the quality of life through technology. But still broad enough, but we had lots of really excellent speakers come from the academia and industry and government organizations too. And usually it's about like a day and a half type deal. We start on Friday, go all day on Saturday, and then Saturday evening have a big gala for dinner with awards and all kinds of stuff like what Sanjay was talking. That's when we gave out scholarships and things like that. I think those always are good to keep up with. Lately, I haven't seen much of that, but there is one being planned for 40th anniversary of ASEI. So that's going to be in Detroit because that's where this particular organization called ASEI was founded in 1983. So 40 years, sometimes in October, November. The date is still TBD, but it's going to happen. So that's kind of the national convention. And so we should be really capitalizing on those things because when you have a national convention, and it really brings people together, because they all rally toward that sort of thing. Okay, we need to make this national convention a success. How are you going to do that? You are involved in you're involved in inviting the speakers and things like that. You get about almost 30 to 40 people intimately involved in that sort of thing. And that brings people together, creates that camaraderie and true value of networking, frankly. In many cases, you'll see that you develop a lifelong friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll drop the date once it's decided, but definitely watch for that. And I'm sure we'll have a contingent from SoCal will attend that. The purpose then is, it is to develop and nurture the next generation of engineers and tech professionals, right? So we want to make sure we're committed to doing that and making our communities better places to live. One of the themes we already had. And I don't have, the last slide was that. And at this point, I just want to talk about today's meeting and share our this here. There we go. Okay. Not going to read everything, but our guest for today is Dr. Partha Datta. He actually is a graduate. Well, he went to RTI, and I applied to RTI for a master. I ended up going to Arizona State University. You visit the campus. It's beautiful, very cold, but beautiful out there. And you were there for almost 20 years. 26. Wow. And before that, Dr. is professor in EE, Electrical, Computer, and System Engineering. And he also became the deputy director of NSF, funded. That's a new thing he started himself, right? Yeah. For the Smart Lighting Engineering Research Center. We will have a discussion on that today for sure. But before all that, MS in Physics from IIT Bombay. And I think that's where you guys met, I think.
No, we met in Bangalore.
Oh, in Bangalore. Oh, okay. So that was his PhD. Okay. So, all right. And by Geetaji and Partha here. And condensed matter physics. Everybody gets that? Condensed matter physics? I think Vijay will get that a little bit. Okay, so PhD from IIS in Bangalore. Again, these are the top schools in India. I think if you all know that. But look at this. Co-authored 145 research papers, 5 book chapters. Inventor of 20 issued US patents. How many of you have a patent to that name here? 1 and 2 and 3. It's crazy to get 20 patents. That's awesome. And a thorough technologist, entrepreneur, has his own company today, United Semiconductors. I had the fortune of having a hike with him the other day on Saturday, and we talked about many things. He also does Surya Namaskar every day. We can ask him after the talk, how he does it so fast. It's amazing. And that's how he stays fit. Co-founder, he has found applications in aerospace, defense, energy, chemical, lighting, display, healthcare, in-space microgravity manufacturing industry. And recognized at so many different levels. Co-founder of Altera and Nova Luxtech, besides what he's doing today. But importantly, gives back a lot to the community, through all the different programs, mentoring students at all levels. And as I said, a great person to talk about many things, from health to wellness and so on and so forth. And we are, I guess, grateful and lucky to have him here, sharing some of his insights. Recipients of many awards, as you can see here. Is there one particular one that you'd like to share that you're excited about, Dr. Datta?
The first one, 1996, Best PhD Thesis Award of IIS Bangalore. They only one every year.
All right. Awesome. So that's the first is always something you remember the most. And many awards here in the US too, right?
Yeah, I got the 40 under 40 entrepreneurship in New York.
Oh, 40 under 40. Oh, wow. Yeah, so again, Dr. Datta, everybody, thank you. And we want to give us talk about artificial lights and virtual windows, among other things. And I'm sure we will talk more than that. Let me turn off my screen mirroring here.
So while we get started, good evening, everyone. Thanks to Sanjay for inviting me here. It's nice to be here and super nice for you to host this event here. You guys have to leave, like anybody has to leave can walk out, okay? Because I can be here like 3 hours, 4 hours. 5 hours. So it's, I love technology, okay? So I love technology and I like to talk about it. So this thing that I'm going to talk about today is really near and dear to my heart because I started this center called Smart Lighting Engineering Research Center, the first one in RPI. Now, one foolish thing I did was I never actually took the time to trademark the word or the phrase smart lighting. Now, if you go everywhere in the world, from Samsung to Osram to Philips to GE, everybody uses this thing called smart lighting, right? I was the one who actually coined that term when we wrote the center proposal in 2008. So I didn't do that. And then when we got the funding from NSF, National Science Foundation, these are very competitive funding for 10 years, $50 million. And we are the one, like, you know, I was the first one to get an RPI. RPI is close to like 200 years old engineering college, right? The first ERP was this one. The G guys, G Global Research Center, which is like few miles from RPI, they invited me to give a talk because G is really into lighting, right? And then the first question they asked me, like, hey, what is this smart lighting